morning everybody. I just want to welcome you up here because it's obvious I am on the bus. It's looking a little bit sad, having been shut up for a year and just a little bit dusty. But what I'm really here for is to bring you the really new, exciting news about what's happening with Open Blue.
Well, as most people are aware, we've advertised twice over the last 6 months, and unfortunately we have had no applications.
Well, that's really disappointing to hear, but I've just said to people about the exciting news. So tell us how you felt when you were writing the advert.
Well, as I began writing the advert for the first time, I did think that an easy and sensible solution might be for me to become the new project director for Open Blue. I have to say I put it down more as a good idea than a God idea, but I did make a mental note of it, and I did sort of lay it down saying, let's see if anyone else has that idea.
I was wandering back to the car one day from having been in town, and as I was going along I was thinking about what the bus needed and what David's skills were, and I thought, actually there's a really good match there. I'm just wondering whether David could actually be the person who takes over leading on the bus. It was just an idea at that stage. I floated the idea with Dave Halls, and he went, oh, hadn't thought about that, and we thought about it a bit more, and then over time we checked it out with the Dayspring trustees, and at that point it was really interesting because, as you know, Raf Monrody is one of the trustees, and he said that when he'd been praying about the new Open Blue person, he'd felt that God was saying, why are you asking for something that you already have? And I thought, oh, and it really felt that God had his hand in it, because it was, David had an idea and we hadn't talked to him. I had an idea and I hadn't discussed it with anybody. Raf had an idea and he hadn't discussed it with anybody. And like when we sort of brought all those things together, it was like, oh yeah, what a brilliant idea. And that's how people have greeted it, including the Open Blue trustees when we took it to them as well.
Well, when Dave put the idea to me, I felt a real growing excitement. There was real life to the conversation, and we both got really excited as we discussed the idea and thought about the possibilities from it. As I was driving home that evening, I felt a real lift in my spirit, which I don't think I felt for a couple of months. I spoke to Sue about it, and she thought it was a great idea. Been asked to lead Open Blue. I'll be focusing 70 to 80% of my time on that, delivering the work in the communities and overseeing that. I'm not Andy, so I will do things differently. One thing we're wondering is, with Wiltshire Dreaming, we've got people coming together who have a heart for the county and are listening to what God is doing and joining in with that. And maybe as they hear about the bus, they'll see it as a resource that they can use to help them expand the work that they're doing in their communities.
Obviously, this has implications for Dayspring. We're going to get a lot less of David's time, and that's going to mean that we're going to have to step up and do things that he did. In the whole process, we've had 2 words in core team which I think have really helped. One from Rolf about stepping stones, and the fact that as we had the faith to step onto the first stone, the next stone would be revealed. And we very much feel that Open Blue and the new development is the first stepping stone. And then the second one was a word from Marion. She actually had a pot-bound agapanthus, had to trim the roots to be able to repot it so that it would flower more, and felt that was very much a picture of us in the future, that there's been some root trimming that's been going on, but as we go into a new thing, so we are going to flourish.
So over Christmas and the early months of this year, I've done some serious thinking about co-leadership and my role within Dayspring. And I feel that I'm no longer the person to lead the team that leads Dayspring. I realise the implications of that decision, but I feel that it is the right one. It's not something I've taken lightly. And Dave and the core team have been very gracious in accepting that.
Obviously, it's really exciting with the move that David's going to make, but it is going to leave a hole. In the interim, just short term, I'm going to take the lead with the core team. Exactly how that's going to work out, we don't really know. We're still looking for somebody who will come and be alongside Dave Halls with actually leading Dayspring. And my role is really just an interim role whilst David moves over to taking over with Open Blue.
I'm really excited to get the bus back on the road and start visiting the communities. Great to pray for the communities, particularly the youth communities, because we haven't seen them since the beginning of the pandemic, really. Pray for God will bless them and protection there. Before we do that, there are lots of practicalities. We've got to get the bus serviced and MOT'd, so do be praying about that. And as the restrictions ease and the communities feel comfortable, we'll be visiting them. We'll probably be doing a lot more outside, so maybe we'll look to get an awning on the bus. And who knows what doors God may open through Wiltshire Dreaming and other opportunities as well.
Really hope that you're as excited about the news as we are. It's really good that we've come up here, the bus can move, and it's just really nice to see that actually it really is still in really good nick. We're just hoping that it can really get behind David as he moves into this new role, because it really is very exciting about some of the things that we can do. We know that there's a desperate need out there. In fact, just now I was talking to a lady who went, "What are you doing up here?" sort of thing. And I said, "Well, we're just getting the bus out." "What bus?" And she said, "Gosh, there's a bus in there. Why have you got a bus? What does the bus do? I haven't heard about that." And I was telling her about Open Blue. So, there's a real excitement, I think, about what the next phase will be. So I'm hoping that you'll pray with us, that you'll be up for it, that you'll get behind David, you'll get behind all of us as we move into this next phase. And as we said, there'll be plenty of opportunities for you to get back to us and ask us questions. So thanks and bye.
Bye.